Hey, this is John Gill from Playful Communications, and in this video I'm going to demonstrate slide decks on LinkedIn. You may have heard them called carousels. So what is a slide deck? Well, it's kind of like a PowerPoint presentation, but don't let that put you off. In fact, think of it as a short story that you can flick or click through in your own time. And I think this is the slide deck's key strength, because people are conscious of their time and they'll happily skip past a video if they feel that they don't have time for it. And yet with a slide deck, I've often spent longer browsing through the slides than I would have if it were a video. So you can add a slide deck to a post just as you would an image or a video, except you choose File. I've shared the same images on Instagram too, slightly different process, but the same content. So there's definitely different areas of social media that you could do something similar and get more value out of the time that you've spent creating your slide deck. So here's an example of one. You can see in the post there, so it appears under your post just like a video or an image would, and you can click through. You'll see at the bottom here, you can see how many slides there are. So I'm currently on number 3 of 16. Started with a title page there, and you can click through in the actual post itself, or you can go to full screen and you can click through that way, or use the arrows either side. Now I've just zoomed in there, so you can zoom in, but with it being square, I want to keep it at that size. Another benefit is that you can download it. So you upload a slide deck, or at least the ones I make, I upload as a PDF. So if it's something that you'd like your audience to take away, then they can download the PDF and take it away with them. So it might be that you're promoting a job vacancy, a program of an upcoming event. You might have a set of top tips for somebody, maybe even a summary of an event that's already happened, or some key points from a podcast that you would like people to listen to. All of these things, they might be useful as a takeaway, as a download, and you can do that here. When you're designing it, it's important to remember that people may be reading your deck on a mobile device, so it's good practice to keep them to strong images, bold graphics, and minimal amounts of text. So this one, like I say, it's a case study of a project that I worked on, with a bit of feedback as well from participants and people who had joined the project. It highlighted that there was another event up and coming, and then obviously links for people to get in touch with me. And actually someone did get in touch with me off the back of this post because they wanted me to do a similar project for them. So the process for making a slide deck is very similar to the process for making a film. The foundation is a good idea, and then a script, and then illustrate that script. Depending on the story, it might even be quicker, perhaps more cost effective than making a video. The main thing, however, is to consider, as ever, who is the audience and how are you going to use this deck. You may not be able to use it in as many places as you would a video. However, if I'd made this particular deck into a video, it would have been at least 2.5–3 minutes long, and getting social media audiences to watch a 3-minute video is a really tough sell. So in this case, slide deck was definitely the best option. So this second example was for a workshop that I was testing out, and I was asking for volunteers, and it drew a good response, and the discussion that was prompted by it suggested that people had read it right the way to the very end. Not something which can always be said about videos. So again, it was a good option. I mentioned top tips. This is about being better prepared for Zoom calls. So there's a bit of context at the beginning, And then literally, I'm going to full screen this one. You go through each point. So each of the bullet points are in bold. So even on a small screen, you could read those nicely. And the text is still sort of similar size to what you would read in a social media post. But it's nice and bold. You can see that you're going through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then there's even a little bit of a plug at the end for my podcast and contact information. And it could be full screened and it could be downloaded. So if you wanted to take away those 5 tips, you could literally take them away with the download option. So I hope that's helpful. If you'd like to learn more or would like some help with creating your own slide deck for social media or for other presentations, please get in touch. I'm John Gill with Playful Communications.